is Ezekiel chapter 28. I'm going to begin at verse 1. The word of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrese, thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And, this is twofold because I was speaking about the prince of Tyrese back in the past, but it's talking about today. It's twofold because it's talking about Esau Edom, which is basically, in scriptures, you have scriptures like Isaiah 19, where it talks about Egypt. Well, you had the Egypt back then and you have Egypt today, the spiritual Egypt. So Esau Edom is the spiritual prince of Tyrese today. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power. I sit in the seat of power in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Because in his heart, this man is so proud. He feels he's God-like. That's why, just recently, I've been coming across a lot of videos, how the brothers been doing videos. They've been in the spirit showing how this man really thinks he's God. I got a book right now. That's what prompted this lesson. And I can see why he's so proud, because when the Most High, the Most High has gifted this man with knowledge, but it tells you in Scripture, knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. You know what I mean? It's the difference between wisdom and knowledge. You know what I mean? 2/3 nigga got knowledge. You know what I mean? Wisdom is beneficial. That's what we call the scriptures. Wisdom, and is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because you know what I mean. You got to understand why to do things and why not to do these things. And there's people that have knowledge of the scriptures but don't have the understanding. They don't have the oil. Salakia, though, it says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. I'm going to skip to verse 6. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, meaning their mind. Well, I'm sure that means mine. I don't have the blue letter, so I can't look up what the word is. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. Because in his mind, he's wise. It talks about in the scriptures about those that seem that they be wise in this world, roughly paraphrased. Because the wisdom of this world is foolishness, to the Most High. So I got one more scripture, and then I'm gonna bring out. So this book of Psalm 64, verse 6, they search out iniquities. Who is the they? It's this red Hebrew Edomite. This devil that is in power and rulership. And if you deny the fact that this man is in rulership, then something's wrong with you. When you take the time to really just something simple the elders been doing lately, what I mean? Like in movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, for instance. The McDowells and James Amos, and how he didn't want him fucking with the daughter, but but then when he realized that he's rich, the guy that the daughter was fucking with, he tried to get him out because he was like, that's nothing. The money he got ain't shit. He said he make his face is on the money. And he showed a picture of their money, and his face is on the money. Now, if the American dollar is the petrodollar, whose face is on that? Show you their rulership. You know what I mean? When you go into how many embassies America has. America, I believe, has the most embassies around the country. And embassy is nothing but a garrison. Because the embassies, they have troops. They got it's a garrison. People really don't understand that we're still, things are set up from the, you got to understand, America based America off a lot of ancient civilizations. Ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient Babylon. That's why when you go to Hollywood, you can see the Babylonian Gate. So, America ain't doing nothing new for real, for real. It's the still ancient custom. They just modernized it to a degree. You still got, you know, like if you ever watched the show Game of Thrones, you had the High King, and then you had the kings that was up under. Like in the movie Troy, um, I forgot a guy name. The elder, the elder Malik Salaki, the elder Malcolm from Chicago. He brought out that book, and you can get the book on PDF for free. I can't think of the name of the damn book though. Blacks in Antiquity, I believe, and he got a face of a melanated statue, and then it looked like a Edomite statue, side by side or back to back, and it went into that guy. Damn, I can't think of his name. The king that Achilles fought for, because Achilles was a king. When you watch that, that's why they say that was actually, because they say the guy that was the king, he was real, lived in real life. That's what they say Troy was supposed to really happen. It wasn't just a story. But he basically was a king that had all the kings up under him, because he was doing like Xerxes and conquering or making people pay fealty to him. Xerxes had a great army. So before they would want to fight him, and that's what they did in the movie. The show. I keep saying movie. The show Game of Thrones. You had the one king with his two sisters, but they interbred with one another, and basically they had dragons. So they left their homeland because I ain't gonna go into the story because you might not got that far. I've been a big Game of Thrones fans for years. I read the books though. Books way better than the series. But long story short, they took over that land because they had something that they had never seen before, the dragons. And he didn't want to he wasn't super cruel. That's why his name was Aegon the Conqueror. He wasn't super cruel. He would come and he'd be like, pay fealty to me, just bow the knee. And you had some people that wouldn't. I know it was only one person that wouldn't bow. And that's why you had that one castle, Harrenhal, that they gave to the one dude that betrayed them, the House Stark, because nobody wanted it for real because it was damaged. That was the one king that didn't want to fight. That didn't bow the knee because he had just built the castle. He like, oh, you ain't gonna get in here. And what Aegon did was he got in that bitch. So that's what America does now. You know what I mean? It's the whore riding upon the beast, because NATO and the EU are the conglomerate of nations off of this beast system, because that's the beast system. The beast is these countries all joined together, pushing their agenda. These Edomite nations. But America is the whore that rides upon that. If you paid attention to when Trump was in office, what was he doing? He literally was sanctioning everybody. I'll fuck up your economy. You're fired. But Salaki, because this supposed to went a particular type of way, and I'm going a different way with this, so this probably be of various topics. But it says they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So basically, these devils have accomplished a diligent search. This man does have wisdom. Salaki has knowledge, but he doesn't have wisdom. That's why he created certain things like plastic that you can't get rid of. You know what I mean? You just got some shit that's actually just harmful to the planet because you can't get rid of it. But then they want to, like I said, get rid of it and what's that called? Not stockpiles, but landfills. When you just cover up the rubbish and the roof. I forgot what it's called, but the rubbish basically. This is like the elders was just going into. I was watching they last camp. It was going into. I forgot what family it is, but I want to say the DuPonts, was it? Whatever family that actually spent the money to come up with Teflon, which is cancerous, that killed a whole bunch of people. These devils got a lot of blood on their hands. But I digress, because like I said, they had some even more sinister shit in mind. So, yeah, I'm running off at the mouth, Salakia. So I got this book that I've been reading out of. I did a couple of videos on it, but I'm hopefully this is not that long, maybe 30 minutes. Okay, so this book, the Milu, Welcome to Transhuman Resistance. So I've been reading out this book, and I came to a page, a, 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 subtopic of one of the chapters, and basically, now it's the spirit because I listened to this particular guy on YouTube. I'm not sure if he's Jake or he a Terry. He appears like a Jake, but he got a weird spirit. And then he talks about the Most High. He's aware of a lot of stuff, but Esau is aware of a lot of stuff. It tells you that Esau is going, their own tongues shall fall upon themselves. They're gonna tell on themselves, but nonetheless, he knows a lot of stuff. So I followed some of the stuff he says because you gotta eat the meat and spit out the bones. But he doesn't really believe in the Most High. He doesn't call on the name. He's more so preparing carnally. And you got, we in this weak flesh. So you got brothers, that, I don't know any personally that's just literally like just all carnal. But what I'm saying is we're going to set up certain things because there's nothing off about buying a couple extra cans of food or, you know what I mean? Maybe having a tent. But when you put your faith in that, like you got brothers that ain't doing none of that. So, and the thing is, the weapons of our warfare are spiritual to the pulling down of strongholds. So, at the end of the day, if you preparing for this thing carnally, when you're supposed to be preparing spiritually, getting right with Yahweh Shem Yahushua and mentally for the things to come, then you preparing the wrong way. Saying all that to say this, so it's a chapter in this book that goes into Salakia. Let me get this set up for real quick. But what I was saying was it's a chapter in this book that goes into basically they're talking about they have the technology to marry man and machine. And we ain't talking about cyborgs and just augment you with some cybernetic pieces or put like a prosthetic robotic hand on you. No, they're talking about some kind of technology that I'm just going to read it. It says on robot human offspring. This is page 272. And it says, where do babies come from? Your 7-year-old daughter asks while she eyes a pregnant woman in a cafe. You see, you begin in that classic awkward parent tone when a mommy and daddy love each other. Stop right there. The question just got a lot more awkward because, you see, when a human and a robot love each other, in 2017, world-renowned AI expert Dr. David Levy gave a happy Christmas lecture to all robot lovers at the Third International Congress on Love and Sex with Robots when he announced that human robot offspring will be possible in the near future. This means what it sounds like it means, that one parent will be human even if he or she is an enhanced one. So this is talking about the one parent can have these prosthetics and can have these neural chips and whatnot. The parent will still be some part human, and the other parent will be wholly machine. Well, with the work that they're going though with this, trying to make everybody take this concoction, which is actually altering your DNA. You know, who's to say everybody gonna be? You know what I mean? Like, what is human? Like, this book go into so much detail. That's why I'm gonna let a brother read it because the simple fact is, besides the fact once I ingest a book, I don't tend to read it over and over. This ain't the scriptures. So, but it goes into way more deeper detail than just, this devil is really like insane. He's really trying to like just figure out everything. And that's the spirit that the Most High put on him for his destruction though. He can't be satisfied. He can't be sated. You know what I mean? So therefore, that's why it talks about, I just brought it out. He has accomplished the diligent search. You know what I mean? But this devil talking about he tried to create life. He tried to do Dr. Manhattan. If you ever see the movie Watchmen, it says there is technology understudy at this present time that takes this idea from sci-fi to reality. In order to have a baby human, traditionally, a female egg has to be fertilized by a male sperm. Prior to 1978, this could only take place through sexual intercourse. It was revolutionary when in vitro in glass. Fertilization proved that a baby could be conceived in the laboratory, though it still required a human female's egg and a human male's sperm. Within the last few years, scientists have discovered that both the sperm and the egg can now be created in a laboratory from skin cells. So they have a technology, and I forgot what it's called, CRISPR, I think. They could take a cell and actually turn it into whatever kind of cell they want. Japan's Shinya Hamanaka and Britain's John Gordon, expert scientists in the field, discovered that mature adult cells could be reprogrammed to become immature pluripotent cells, that is, cells that can turn into any other type of tissue. Additionally, additional laboratory research led to the discovery that an egg didn't have to be fertilized at all. Eggs can be tricked into developing into an embryo without fertilization called Parthenogenesis. Molecular embryologist Dr. Tony Perry, senior author of the study, said this is the first time that full-term development has been achieved in regard to mice who appear healthy and are able to produce at least 2 generations of offspring. Other breakthroughs allowing for the manipulation of human genomes, even to the germline level, include CRISPR technology, an acronym that stands for Clustered Randomly Interspersed Palindromic repeats. China has already gene edited dozens of people using this technology, and the United States is planning to follow their lead starting this year, not counting what is already being done in special access programs behind Department of Defense doors. And that's the spirit, because that's what I was just going to say. Just because once the public gets a hold of anything or find out about anything, like they have technology where you could, if you got the money, they call it designer babies. You can actually edit the child you want. I want the child to be this tall and have a physique like this and green eyes. And if you got the money, they can do that. And people think it's far fetched, but when I found out about it, just imagine how long they have been doing it. You got to remember. I remember I was still in school. I think I was in elementary school. So and I don't. My memory is shitty. You know what I mean? Because all the things I've done in the world before I came into the truth, drugs and drinking, and you know what I mean. So it's amazing. Call Lawyer Yahba Shimi Al that I still have some semblance of sanity. But that's all through the power of Yahba Shimi Al to have me, I think, where I am today. You know what I mean? I can go in deeper, but I'm not. But point is, I recall like I was in elementary school when they cloned Dolly. So if that was back then, just imagine what they doing now. It says, I'm going to skip all day. DNA is usually double-stranded, consisting of 2 strings of nucleotides, adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine, upon a sugar backbone, deoxyribose. The strands are minor, so like a mirror, complementary, locking together like puzzle pieces. The shapes of the molecular bonds between the complementary nucleotides ATCG causes the double strand to twist into a familiar helical shape. Genes are collections of nucleotides that translate into an end product protein. If the gene contains an error, the final protein may not fold correctly, which causes it to function poorly, if at all. Okay, we're going to skip. With this technology combined with or besides parthenogenesis mentioned earlier, in which eggs can be tricked and develop into embryo without fertilization, 2 females, for example, could offer some skin samples and a child could be born entirely from a laboratory, producing a literal and biological offspring of 2 female parents. So when you go into like the Terminator movie, when you had the cyborgs that had real living human skin, yeah, this is what we read. It says ethical and religious questions regarding the artificial embryo have kept this technology from becoming available to same-sex partners to make human babies today. Salaki, sex partners right now, but it's only a matter of time and red tape. All that is needed to make human babies today is DNA. Bear with me. Salakia, continue. Skipping to page 287, it says synthetic biology. Synthetic biology is one of the newest areas of biological research that seeks to design new forms of life and biological functions not found in nature. The concept began in 1974 when Polish geneticist Wacław Cybulski speculated about how scientists and engineers would soon enter the synthetic biology phase of research in our field. We will then devise new control elements and add these new modules to the existing genomes or build up wholly new genomes. This would be a field with the unlimited expansion of building new synthetic organisms like a new better mouse. Following Blowski's speculation, the field of synthetic biology reached its first major milestone in 2010 with the announcement that researchers at the J. Craig Venter Institute had created an entirely new life form nicknamed Synthia by inserting artificial genetic material which had been chemically synthesized into cells that were then able to grow. The JCVI website explains genomic science has greatly enhanced our understanding of the biological world. It is enabling researchers to read the genetic code of organisms from all branches of life by sequencing the four letters that make up DNA. Sequencing genomes has now been routine, giving rise to thousands of genomes in the public database. In essence, scientists are digitalizing biology by converting the ACT and the Gs of the chemical makeup of DNA to ones and zeros in a computer. But can one reverse the process and start with ones and zeros in a computer to define the characteristics of a living cell? We set out to answer this question, and now this scientific team, headed by Doctors Craig Venter, Hamilton Smith, and Clyde Hutchison, have achieved the final step in their quest to create the first synthetic genome, which has been booted up in a cell to create the first cell controlled completely by synthetic genome. The JVC site goes on to explain how the ability to routinely write the software of life will usher in a new era in science, and with it, unnatural living products like Sablowski's new Better Mouse. Better mice, dogs, horses, cows, or humans that grow from this science will be unlike any of the versions of God made. So, as you just heard me read, basically these devils is up there attempting to create life. They said it'll be unlike. When I read it the first time, I thought it said it'll be better, but I'm sure this devil in his mind think it'll be better because that's why he changes the natural order of so many different things. You know what I mean? That's why you got a devil like Crowley that talks about do as thou wilt. You know what I mean? People think that homosexuality is, you know, like what actuality, homosexuality is really like it's a spiritual fornication as well. I mean, of course it's spiritual, but what I'm saying is like it's that's why when you come across a lot of them homosexuals, they be some of them people with the most demons on them because it's a spiritual. I mean, you tearing the veil. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's a depraved, abominable act to the Most High. That opens you up to demons. What am I looking for? Obadiah, because with the statement they made about, you know, it'll be unlike anything that the Most High God made, proving to you that this devil is proud. This is Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. You got to remember, this was a caveman, like the Geico commercial. And that's just not to, because the Most High did it to show his power. He took a base low man like Esau Edom that was living in like a caveman and put him in. Now this man is the ruler. Like the elder was saying, at one point in time, when you go into K and, when you go into K was so, he knew that like he was going into like a white mouse or a white roach. You see that, you kill that first. Like the fuck is you just say, you might see 5 of them, but they brow. You see a white one, I'm gonna kill this one. That's that's something. It's weird something, and that's with animals in the animal kingdom as well. When they come across like Like, I remember, okay, my brother used to be in the pit bulls, and he had a litter, and he had two white pit bulls. And out of all the pit bulls, the mother always fucked them up. She didn't kill them, but she would fuck them up. And I'll be like, why? And it makes sense now, though. You know, you have a lot of animals that if they child come out like that, albino, they'll kill it. So, like the elders going into their last camp, they were saying how, back then when Esau, Cain, because that's who it is, Esau Edom is just a clean, leopard, you know, uh, but he spiritually, Cain, and just deep. The truth is deep, but he was saying like Cain. That's when Cain was worried about if people saw him that they were gonna want to hurt him. You know what I mean? Because you looked at abnormal. Yeah. It says in the clefts of the rocks, but the Most High took this man that at one point was despised and like, oh wow, like because everybody had melanin back then. Even Moab and what I mean, all these different nations today, that you would consider more, like I'm trying to think, Moab, Ammon, you know, it's pictures of Ishmaelites that are darker than us. Who shall bring me to the? It says, whose habitation is on high. Of course, you know what that means. That's why they like to live in these high skyscrapers and whatnot. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, because his pride is lifted up, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So, these people are manipulating and playing with life. They playing with genes. They playing with, what I mean? So, of course, this devil is proud. That was all to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because what is that? Humpty Dumpty? Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. The higher you are, the harder you fall down. So the world is going to see when this devil is brought down low. To the point, I mean, we want to watch this, and we watch it. We were just speaking on that in the group chat. You know what I mean? There's so much shit going on. The brother took a picture of Walmart, and this wasn't just because they got to get their shelves stocked up again. Like, that bitch is empty. He took pictures, and I just was in Walmart like, what was that? Like Saturday? Last Saturday. I went to Walmart with my daughters. That shit wouldn't look like that. So today he took the picture Tuesday. So if you're going from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, that's 3 days. So I'm going to get some scriptures. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, because like I said, the Most High gave this devil the spirit to search out all this knowledge. He gave him knowledge, but he doesn't have wisdom, because there's a difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They all go together. Because you can have knowledge of wickedness. You know what I mean? You got wicked people that have knowledge. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, of the book of Sirach, chapter 19. 19. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, of the book of Sirach, chapter 19. Chapter 19, I'm going to start at verse 18. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtained of love. It says, verse 19, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom, and in all wisdom is the performance of the law and the knowledge of omnipotence. Verse 21, if a servant say to his master, I will not do as it pleases thee, though afterward he do it, he anger him that nourisheth him. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. And that's the point. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. This devil has knowledge, Again, but like I said, he doesn't have wisdom and he doesn't have understanding. You know what I mean? That's what, when you go into the fear of the Lord, is the first step to be accepted by. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. This devil doesn't fear the Lord because, what I mean, and he think he's above the Lord because the Lord put it in this, and ultimately to judge him. You know what I mean? Like I said, at the end of the day, if you got brothers that have fallen out this truth and bucked up to the elders because they felt that they surpassed their teachers, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, like, and that's ultimately the Lord playing with them, fucking with them. That's why it's so important to stay humble in this thing. You know what I mean? I often be amazed at some of the younger brothers up under me, and just some younger brothers, because what I mean, like how diligent they is, or how the spirit be dealing with brothers, and they just flow so spectacular. Because when the brother's in the spirit and he flow with them scriptures, it's like a dance. Like if you ever seen like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, when he danced with his sword. I can't think of that guy name. He played in another movie too, Hard Boiled, I think. Is that one Asian actor? Like he a big superstar in Asia. He like the who I can't think of but an action star here. He's like that over there. But he played in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's a part where he gave up the sword, but then that girl stole the sword, and he ended up going to get the sword back. And when he got the sword, he was he was like he didn't think he would miss his sword that much, but he just embraced the sword for a minute. And it's I forgot what that's called, but when like when they do the little practice, you ain't like you sword fight with anybody. It's just like you doing your exercise. But I always equate that to when a brother flowing in the spirit and the scriptures just flowing like brother, like he's swinging that sword beautifully because this is a weapon for real. I heard the brother Taza Pa from Houston make mention of that. Shalom to that. That brother's a diligent brother. But yeah. So this is a weapon. Wielded correctly, you will fuck something up. You know what I'm saying? A demon has no chance. And a 2/3 nigga, yeah, he might get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Have him like Stephen had them 2/3. Gnashing their teeth. But Salakia, for the digression, and then another thing to show you how this man doesn't have true wisdom, because with the knowledge he had, again, like I said, he created all this different shit, but everything that he's created is mostly detrimental to the world, not to the country, to the world. You know what I mean? That's why he's labeled the son of perdition, the son of destruction. What has he really brought to the world? When you go into the accomplishments of Jake, I got a book about that, the different inventions. You know what I mean? Like, it's so amazing because, they have brainwashed even a lot of our people. The elders was bringing that out about how you will have a dumbass 2/3 nigga regurgitating something that Esau Edom said, talking about we not the people, but you ain't went and did no research on none of it. I've had a nigga literally tell me that. A nigga that I used to be around too when I was homeless. 1 minute he said one thing, next minute he said another thing. I'm like, yeah, you double-minded. But he's like, a lot of shit I said wasn't, don't make no sense or was wrong. And I said, hey, man, why you ain't never tell me that? Name one thing that I said was wrong so I can show to you that it's right. And he couldn't do it. I said, so basically you went and asked another motherfucker that probably don't know shit like you, as opposed to you ain't gonna research nothing. And that's what the elders are saying. You got these stupid ass niggas that if the Edomite didn't say it, it's not true. You know what I mean? Even my 2/3 dumbass brothers sit up there and say that his story is his story, so he's not gonna trust everything this devil say. And he a 2/3. What's the book of Proverbs? Salakia. Proverbs chapter 4, starting at verse 6. It says, forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. I'm going to start up at verse 5. Proverbs 4 and 5. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Because you got to have understanding. You know what I mean? These words would be just words. I read the scriptures. The first time I ever went to jail, I read the Bible. And my brother said he read the Bible the first time I ain't going to say the first time, but he read the whole Bible, he said. And he had no understanding. Just like I didn't. But the scriptures talk about when the well, the scriptures don't say that, but it said, "Thy eyes shall see thy teachers," and basically, like in the book of Acts, he said, "Do you?" When Philip asked the Ethiopian, "Did he understand what he read?" And he said, "How can I understand unless some man show me?" Roughly paraphrased. Uh, the scriptures all talk about, you know, damn, how well, basically you need a teacher. You know what I mean? And then people get offended, or that's far fetched to people. But then why? You go to church. What is your pastor? He's your spiritual teacher. Although they don't teach you shit. That's why such a high, what's the word, high office and such a high responsibility being a pastor. Just being a pastor of a congregation, because the pastors, a lot of these pastors got blood on their hands. Like say, like when you go to like we in a time of prophecy and they not speaking on prophecies. This is the book of Proverbs 4, verse 6. Forsake, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Uh, and this devil doesn't have any understanding. You know what I'm saying? You know, all this devil, he doesn't, this devil's like a child. You know, he doesn't think about the repercussion of things. Once you get to a certain age, you know what I mean, you're supposed to start thinking about, okay, you know, I was just listening to the brother, I can't think of the brother name, but the brother from DC that do the Hebrew videos, and he was saying how with if you consider yourself a spiritual man, that you supposed to, like, when you about to move into a situation, you supposed to sit back and meditate on it. You know what I mean? You know, like the spiritual outcome of it. I mean, you know what I mean? The spiritual pros and cons. Now, don't get me wrong, it might be some situations, you know what I mean? Like Paul. Paul had got in fights, all kind of shit. He said he had fought with brute beast. You get what I'm saying? He nigga. Like I remember the elder apostle Tahar said that. He nigga, a brute beast, called him a beast. You know, and then they was going into that at they live or at their camp. They was saying, he's like, yeah, the Edomites neighborhoods, they'll leave their doors unlocked, but they go to Jake neighborhoods, they lock the door. And these men that's no Jake, you know what I mean? But that's how fucked up we are as a people. And it's funny, but it's so sad. You know what I'm saying? Book of Colossians. He doesn't have any understanding. You know what I mean? Like this devil, like I say, is like a child. He'll create something and not looking at the repercussions behind it. You know what I mean? You creating shit that you can't get rid of. You delving with shit that you shouldn't probably delve with. You want to sit up here and like for instance with the Sophia. This book goes into that. You know about Sophia and because basically they talk about, it's gonna get to the point, the singularity. If you're not familiar with that, go check that out. You know, Ray Kurzweil, one of the executives or co-creators of Google, is all for this shit. You know what I mean? Like this is one of these people that's pushing this whole metaverse and this transhuman society. These people be right in your face and like I said, I mean, but they're not even thinking about the repercussions of this. Like you know, like that robot Sophia. That one robot Sophia literally has citizenship, meaning this robot could become annoying to you, so you could turn it off. And now mind you, this robot has rights in Saudi Arabia, so this robot could get married legally. You know what I mean? It has the rights as if like it's alive. If you do something to it, you can go to jail. So you could turn it off and it's your robot because you paid for it and you'll go to jail. If this place ain't turned upside down. But they talk about basically because it's seemingly to be responding to questions as if it's like it's aware, self-aware. And that's why you get the movies like Terminator and Skynet. Skynet became self-aware at a certain time. And that's the singularity. And basically, Skynet was considered the human beings as children and self-destructive. So before, you know, it preemptively struck at humanity. And that's just a testimony to, like the elder saying, that it's inevitable for this place to be uh, bombarded with ICBMs. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after rudiments of the world, and not after Mashiach. These people that push the philosophy of live your best life, especially these pastors in these fucked up ass pork chop eating pastors in these harlot houses churches. Right now is the time to be spiritually growing closer to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not to be seeking after the world or trying to live your best life. Like I said, I was working at this job, and the guy that I was telling the truth to, he ended up losing the job. And I wonder if the Lord is about to be dealing with him. You know what I mean? Because the Lord got to try you first before he give you the wisdom. So he going to take you through some things. That's spiritually. He'll try you with the malevolent spirits before he give you the righteous ones. I came across so many demons through my testimony at the beginning of my testimony before I found the brothers in the truth. I'm talking about demons. They trying to get me to open up my chakras. Yeah. Want to try and convince me that that's how Yahweh Shai Mashiach kept the demons at bay? Because yeah. So, and the philosophies of this world is us all getting along and one big, but that's all witchcraft too, when you really actually are awake and have the spiritual eye salve, because people constantly, even brothers in the truth, they be like, well, how is it and why Jake don't get it? But we know why. We got the answers right in our face. We done read it. We know what it is, but we in this flesh, and it is lightweight shocking when you constantly see, how could you still trust in the devil? He just literally shot so many Jakes within the last couple years. You know what I mean? Then you got Jake so fucked up, but like the elder was saying, he was saying how they gave up the Ahmad Arbery those 3 Edomites because Jake probably was ready to tear something up. Because Jake was mad about the Rittenhouse thing, and the people that he shot wasn't Jake's. So like the elder Yashawaba kept on stating, he like, why do you care? It's not even, because Jake is spiritually upset. I got one last scripture. Well, I had 2. I'll probably just get to 1. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2. I'm going to start at verse 3, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come and fall away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So that son of sin be revealed, that son of perdition is his red Hebrew Edomite, and he's being exposed. That's why with his tyrannical government that's pushing and mandating, make it by force, you got to comply with this. It was a TikTok video that was up. They was like, basically, you got places like Krispy Kreme that literally, if you got the vaccination, you could go in there and get a free donut for like the rest of your life or some crazy ass shit. And the lady was like, okay, so basically, this is supposed to be about health, but then you gonna allow a person to eat donuts for the rest of it. And the way that this society pushes shit, it's gonna be somebody that's gonna really try to get a donut every fucking day or whatever. That's just like you had people that really went got the vaccine because of the fact that they had strippers at the sites to get the shot. Shit, they were saying that I forgot what country they had. If you was to get it, you could go actually have sex with a nurse or some shit. It was some crazy shit. Yeah, if you can't see that this shit over with, that they doing this shit, this kind of desperate shit. Oh yeah, the Lord really don't like you. It says, verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worshipped, so that he is as Yahweh, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And I showed that by this man thinking he really could manipulate, control life. By bringing out those chapters in that book, Like Ezekiel 28 said, he thinking himself of a God. And when you go into like this whole system, this system basically will track you no matter where the fuck you at. You know, Jake for the most part live and let live. You over there, I'm over here. You know what I mean? But no, not Esau Edom. He want to control everything. Come on, like the elder Yashua was going into from food for fork to food or something, for food to fork or something like that, where basically they want to track all the food. And then they come up with some stupid ass answer. Show you how stupid people are, how slow they are. I ain't gonna use the word stupid. How slow they are because the answers they give don't be making no sense. Like for instance, this whole thing they pushing. Oh, it's the people that are not vaccinated that are getting the people that are sick. How the fuck is that possible? Take time to think about it. The whole point. But then they hit you with, well, they're not even sure that this whole new variant, the shots you took is actually going to stop this new variant. So what the fuck was the point of taking it? And people so dumbed down and stupid, they not even thinking about like, well, what's the point of you taking it? Your immune system compromised. It was a brother. I took a picture of it. It was like I forgot what country it was, but they was showing the ratio of deaths to people that took it and people that didn't. And the ratio of people that took it is way far more than the people that didn't. That's how you know it's witchcraft and a spell. Like I said, this devil is using spells and sorcery on the people. Verse 5, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. Verse 6, and now ye know that withholding that he might be revealed in his time. Verse 7, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, who the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And that wicked being revealed is this red Hebrew Edomite, this devil. But Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to send our big brother, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh HaMashiach, to destroy this devil when he comes with the Alahayim and the chariots, the whirlwinds of fire. That's why he's going, we consume it to destroy this devil with, the words from this book, because they spiritually buck hurt and hurt. But, eventually the Lord is going to send our big brother. Verse 9, even him who's coming is after the workings of Satan. So it literally tells you that this man is coming in spiritually as Satan. The adversary. This man is averse to the Most High God, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's why it tells you in 1 John, I think it's chapter 2, about how there shall be many antichrists. Because this fucking devil is trying to deceive the people to tell that there's no Messiah, no God. He wants you to look at him like you're God. It says, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And the signs and lying wonders is his technology, which will end up being detrimental. That's why it talks about in the book of Daniel, by peace he shall destroy many. A lot of people are taking that route of dealing with that jab, taking that punch in the mouth, just due to the fact they thinking that that's going to benefit them in the long run. I know a guy that I was homeless with, and he doing well right now. And he work at a hospital. And basically, he said, he was like, yeah, I just took it to keep my job. To show you how these people that supposed to know the Bible, he went to church. He grew up in the church. These phony, baloney fucking pastors, you know what I mean? Because if that's the case, I said, what do y'all think? The scriptures talk about persecution. What do you think? I mean, like, what's wrong with them? Because they don't really believe what they was reading. They don't really believe what they was hearing. In their nature, in their spirit, they know that. Come on. Like I said, you live in a world where, you got all this division and people, all this hate. But you supposed to love everybody. Now, I'm not condoning violence. But what I'm saying is, it's in the scriptures, it was wars. You know what I'm saying? So Christianity doctrine is so fucking stupid because when you take time to think about it, just turn the cheek to everything. But then you got a whole a doctrine of manifest destiny, and the Monroe doctrine. By right, by might, we have the right to do, The Most High allowed us to take this over. Like the elder did a video recently. They use the Bible to justify slavery, and we do as well. That's the one thing we got in common, because slavery is in the Bible. Verse 10, and with all deceivableness of righteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Verse 11, and for this cause Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. And that's why you got 2/3 of our people that's believing that the way out is to actually deal with this devil. It tells you in the scriptures that you're going to go to your enemy for the one of all things. So they thinking salvation is going to come on the left-hand side from a man. It tells you in the book of Jeremiah chapter 17, I believe verse 5, curse be the man that trusteth in man. In the book of Psalms chapter 118, it talks about, what happens to those that put their confidence in man. So yeah, you go feel very foolish. I got one last scripture. Because at the end of the day, this devil is in rulership right now, but the Most High God got him in a trick bag, and all for his purpose, his plan, for his will to be fulfilled. But eventually, the Most High is going to give it to our big brother, because it tells you that in the scriptures. And the scriptures also tell you that the Most High God is a man that he cannot lie. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 10, point is verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So in due time, our big brother will be put in a position of power, and the 144,000, the elect, will, be, will reign with him, because they have a reward. But it's in due time. It says in due time. So that means, we got to deal with this season, because we about to go into a season of evil season, bad times, and only way to get it is to bear with me for a second. Salakia for that. Anyhow, I should have just skipped over it. But anyhow, like I was saying, the Most High is, has a reward for those that doing the will and his work, doing his will and doing his work. Going through these different trials and tribulations to remain faithful. That's what the book of Matthew talks about, chapter 19, where Peter asks Yahweh Shah, we have given up everything. What will be our reward? Roughly paraphrased. It's a reward coming with this thing. It's just, you ain't just a servant and I'm gonna get nothing. Yeah. So with that, if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Simple Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to the statutes, and to the commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to God, Lawyer, Blah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rachak, what is Wakatab. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the occupant across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Aqua, to the occupant, their listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appear like the other nations, but who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.